When Steven Spielberg opens his mouth and names the three actors he admires most in the world, it's not just a list, it's a powerful statement, capable of shaking Hollywood to its core. Because when the director who rewrote the history of cinema speaks, every word carries the weight of an Oscar. These aren't just opinions, they are carefully considered declarations, shaped by decades behind the camera and a unique sensitivity to talent. The three actors we're about to discuss are not just outstanding professionals. They are individuals who made a deep human and artistic impact on one of the most iconic directors of all time. What he said about them in interviews and private moments reveals much more than admiration. It reveals personal bonds, absolute respect, and a timeless esteem. Curious to find out who Spielberg's top 3 favorite actors are? Then let's dive in. But first, tell me in the comments your favorite Spielberg film. Let's see which one gets mentioned the most. The first star shining at the top of Spielberg's list is Tom Hanks. Their collaboration isn't just a cinematic partnership, but a true friendship spanning over 30 years. It all began in 1998 with Saving Private Ryan, a masterpiece that marked an era and allowed both to explore the trauma of war and the meaning of sacrifice. In an interview with CBS, Spielberg said, "Tom is the most reliable actor I've ever met. I would trust him with my life." That's a statement that goes beyond professional respect. It speaks of personal trust. Hanks, for his part, has always described Spielberg as an older brother, a guide. Their bond extends far beyond the film set. They co-founded the miniseries, Band of Brothers, and have worked together on at least 5 major projects, including Catch Me If You Can and Bridge of Spies. But what struck Spielberg the most, as he shared on the Hollywood Reporter podcast, was Hanks's ability to humanize every character. He can be an FBI agent or a Cold War lawyer, but the audience always relates to him. That's a rare gift. Simply put, Hanks has proven to be a golden soul, worthy of Spielberg's admiration. The second figure Spielberg deeply admires is Daniel Day-Lewis, perhaps a less obvious choice, considering they only worked together once on Lincoln in 2012. But that single collaboration left an indelible mark. During an event at the Directors Guild of America, Spielberg revealed how profoundly he was struck by the actor's total dedication. "I saw Daniel disappear completely and become Lincoln. He wasn't acting, he was Abraham Lincoln. I couldn't call him by any other name during filming. It just wouldn't have made sense." Spielberg's admiration goes beyond Day-Lewis's technical brilliance. It extends to the courage he shows in refusing roles and working selectively. Many actors take on one film after another. Daniel only chooses when he feels the role will transform him. That discipline is what makes him a giant. One curious anecdote: Day-Lewis would sign all his text messages to the crew as A. Lincoln. Spielberg confessed that, at one point during filming, he forgot who the man behind the character even was. "One day, I saw him sitting alone, quietly, under a tree. I was overwhelmed. It felt like time had stopped in 1865. I felt the weight of history, thanks to him." The last name Spielberg has often mentioned with deep admiration is Meryl Streep. In a 2018 interview with Variety, shortly after the release of The Post, Spielberg said without hesitation, "Meryl is the most powerful actress of her generation. Every director dreams of working with her. I was lucky enough to finally do it." And to think, Spielberg had tried for years to convince her to join one of his films, but the timing never worked out. When they finally came together on the set of The Post, Spielberg confessed to feeling a kind of reverent awe. "I was the one intimidated, not her. She was embodying Katharine Graham with such grace, I didn't dare interrupt her scenes." The most surprising part? Streep herself said she grew up watching Spielberg's films and had always hoped to one day work with him. Their mutual admiration turned into an unforgettable collaboration. But there's more. Spielberg shared that one evening during filming, he had dinner with Meryl and her daughters. It was in that moment that he truly understood her depth. not just as an artist, but as a human being. She has an emotional intelligence that's extraordinary. She's a mother, an artist, a woman of values. It's impossible not to be inspired by her. He later added in a New York Times interview, "If Hollywood had a face, for me it would be Meryl's. She's our guiding light." Behind every word Spielberg says lies not only respect, but also deep affection. These aren't actors he chose for strategic reasons or convenience. They are people with whom he built something greater, an emotional bridge. Spielberg has always seen cinema as a collective storytelling journey, and when he talks about Hanks, Day-Lewis, or Streep, he speaks as a man who found in them true allies for telling stories that are real, profound, and universal. There are private moments that reinforce this admiration, like when Spielberg invited Tom Hanks to his ranch to quietly discuss the Bridge of Spies script, far from Hollywood's noise, or the late-night call to Daniel Day-Lewis, trying to convince him to come out of semi-retirement and accept the role of Lincoln. A call that lasted hours filled with silence, reflection, and doubt. And finally, the emotional hug he gave Meryl Streep after the Post's premiere, when Spielberg shared a heartfelt confession. "This was a film I never thought I'd be able to make, but with you, it found its soul." As always, Spielberg's words are never random. He's known for weighing every phrase, every interview, with the same care he gives his film scenes. And when he chooses to publicly praise an actor, it means he's seen something extraordinary in that person. It's not just about fame or awards, but about humanity, dedication, and truth. His relationship with Tom Hanks is now legendary. Their chemistry has created some of the most beloved films of recent decades. But what truly binds them is trust. Spielberg said, "Tom is my moral compass in the chaos of the set. When I have doubts, I look at him." With Day-Lewis, the connection is more rarefied, but no less intense. There's a kind of silent, almost mystical respect. And with Meryl Streep, there's a genuine form of reverence. Spielberg compared her talent to that of a musician who can play every note of the human soul. 3 actors, 3 stories, 3 relationships built on respect, artistry, and emotion. When Steven Spielberg talks about them, he doesn't speak as a mere director, but as a man who found in each of them a piece of his own vision. And that, ultimately, is the magic of cinema, uniting souls to tell stories that stay with us forever. Let me know in the comments what you think about these actors, and don't forget to share your favorite Spielberg movie. And, of course, subscribe to the channel for more incredible Hollywood stories.